Hi, my name is Szymon and welcome to the second episode of Very Basic FPS devlog. Today, we will talk about AI and how it will work in my project. As you probably remember from the previous video, I'm using an AI asset. The setup is pretty straightforward and you can just follow tutorials from developers to make it run basic actions. Here, I will expand on how it is structured and how I was able to use it to make enemies communicate with each other to make the player sweat just a little bit more. The whole code is based around state machine. But what is state machine? Ask no one ever, but I will explain it anyways. In our case, it means that we have some states like patrolling or hiding behind cover, and we can transition between those states whenever something specific happens. We are constantly checking conditions for each transition, and whenever this condition is satisfied, we are switching the state. You can easily write your own transitions and add them to existing states, or write whole new states, thus expanding existing AI possibilities. Let's say we are in a patrolling state. There are a couple things that can happen during patrol, like seeing an enemy or seeing a dead body of a friend. Depending on what has happened, we are entering a transition to the next state, such as an attack in case of seeing an enemy, or investigation state in other cases. Let's see how this looks inside the game. This is a patrolling state. You can see all the transitions and what those transitions lead to. And now a presentation on a real example. Here we can see an enemy looking the other way. Now if we enter his side, he will transition into an attack state. This is simple and pretty straightforward. Now let's find out what will happen if our friend sees his body dead. As you can see, he is getting into an alert state and is going into the place where the shot came from. This is oversimplifying, but I imagine that, for example, there is a bullet hole in the wall, or he sees how his friend is lying and thus deducts where to look for a player. Moreover, if there is another enemy on site, he will inform him about this tragedy and they will both look for you. Additionally, you can set your own stats for different types of enemies. For now, I'm using two types of enemies, which I call Brave and Coward. Brave enemy will move as soon as he gets intel on player's position, whereas Coward enemy will rotate towards the player position but will just wait on his spot and thus have a quicker reaction whenever the player enters his site. As you can see, the AI is neither clever nor particularly exciting, but I think it is challenging enough to keep the player on his toes and is predictable enough to have a good speedrun potential. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing, and see you in the next episode of Very Basic FPS devlog. Cheers!